Hi there, and welcome to our Blaze 101 webinar. Live streaming for the first time. We are live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So if you are joining from one of those locations, thank you for tuning in. Uh, Purpose of this webinar is to give you a brief introduction into how Blaze works, how to set up your workspace, and really accomplish everything that you want to within Blaze. So we've got a 5-minute intro about what Blaze is, how we created it, and who it's for. And then after that, for our agenda, we've got about a 30-minute demo of how to use Blaze, set up your workspace, create content, edit content with the help of AI, publish it on a marketing calendar, as well as analyze your best performing posts. And at the end, we'll have a Q&A. So if there's any questions that you have throughout the presentations, please put them in the chat interfaces on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and I'll be able to see those, I believe, on my sidebar over here. And then if there's any I'm not able to get to, I'll be answering those at our Q&A session at the end. So please want to make this as interactive as possible. If you are watching, please say hi and let me know. But with that, I think we'll get started. So my name's Alan Castanelli. I'm on the marketing team here at Blaze, and I'm in beautiful Portland, Oregon. We got sunny skies this morning. A little bit about me. I've been a marketer for over 15 years. Previously, started out my career in sports marketing, did a couple stints in e-commerce, and then have worked at technology startups like Blaze for the past 8 or 9 so years. And as you can see at Blaze, we love our comic book superhero branding. One of my favorite comic books is Calvin and Hobbes. So what is Blaze? Blaze is a marketing AI tool to help you grow your business on the internet and do it fast. And that's the two things that we're promising here at Blaze: growth and speed. We know that the primary way that businesses are growing in 2025 is through different forms of content. So that's content for your social media channels, content for your website, maybe blog posts or landing pages, or content for different marketing channels like email marketing or SMS marketing if you're an e-commerce company, or different forms of advertising. So whether that's Google ads, Facebook ads, or other forms. And we created Blaze for all these people who need to do marketing, but might not be professional marketers like myself. You might not have 15 years. We created Blaze for these solopreneurs, or teams of one is what we like to use. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a small business owner, or a one-person marketing team that has to do a team's level of work. No matter kind of what your title is, you are, all the growth is on your shoulders for your business, and you are the one in charge of creating content and growing your business. We created Blaze because it's never been easier to start a business, but it's never been harder to grow one. There's so many tools out there to help you get up and running, to get your business off the ground, but to really grow your business, it's the number one challenge that we hear from small business owners. It's never been more competitive. There's never been more attention, people fighting for attention in the market, more noisy, more social media algorithms changing, and rising advertising costs. And so really growing your business is the number one challenge that we hear. And the challenges that we hear around content and creating marketing is that there's so much work to do. Not only do you have to brainstorm and come up with what content do you actually want to create, you have to then go create it, whether it's text-based, photo-based, or video-based, and then distribute it and publish it across all these different marketing channels that all have their own requirements, best practices, and kind of cultural norms of what type of content to publish on those channels. And it's more work than that one person can actually do and be successful at, because you can't just do it one time. You have to do it day over day, week over week, month over month. And the things that we hear from our customers is that they just don't have time to dedicate to creating content. Their calendar, they're very infrequent when they're posting, or if they are posting, they're not spending enough time on it because they just don't have the time. And that content is not high quality. It's not getting pushed to the social media algorithms. Because of that, they're missing the goals that they're setting, whether that's social media followers, impressions, website visits, and ultimately conversions and revenue is what we all really care about. One of the consistent things that I hear from our customers is they feel like there's all these opportunities that are within reach, but they just don't have the time, knowledge, or experience to take advantage of them. They know that if they sent out a weekly newsletter to their audience, they would get good feedback on it. Or there's an audience out there on Instagram for the content that they want to create, but they just can't get over that hump of creating that content or getting off that blank page. So the things that we hear consistently is that they are overwhelmed by all this content that they need to create, feel like their business is overlooked, and ultimately stressed and anxious about this, this constant need to keep creating content that they don't have time to do. One of our customers told me last week they feel like they have this, low grade anxiety that's taking up 15% of their brain before using Blaze. And now that they're using Blaze, they're creating content once a week, scheduling it out on the calendar, and then have freed up that space in their brain to dedicate to the other areas of their business that really make an impact in other ways. And so that is ultimately why we created Blaze. We want to make you feel like you have superpowers. That's why we love our superhero branding. And we want to take you from Peter Parker to Spider-Man and really feel that AI is that transformative technology that's now available for entrepreneurs and small business owners. It's not something just reserved for mega corporations like Amazon or Facebook with billions of dollars and thousands of employees. People on a team of one can now leverage the power of AI to take their thoughts and turn it into content in a really streamlined way that sounds like you and looks like your brand. So that is what we are here to do at Blaze. Now for the next kind of 20 or 30 minutes, I'm going to go into a demo and show you how to set up your workspace. Excuse me, my dog is eating some cardboard here. We're going to set up your workspace, show you how to create content, edit content, publish that within Blaze, and then analyze it to see what you should be doing next. So with that, yes, Cortez, welcome. For your digital marketing business, yes, we have tons of marketing agencies using Blaze to do more, to support more clients. I talked to a customer a few weeks ago who said they are now able to support 25% more clients because they can get stuff more done faster with Blaze, and it just streamlines their operations. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Now we're going to go over to Blaze, and this is the Blaze interface. Over here on the left, we have our navigation. So you can see this is how you're going to be moving around Blaze. And right now we're looking at this content calendar project. So a project you can think of as a folder of where you're sharing content or where you're organizing your content. And you can do it, but put all your content in one project, or you could do different projects for different marketing channels, like one specifically for LinkedIn. But here within this project, we're looking at this week's view because we're looking at it in a calendar view of what you can expect to create in just 30 to 45 minutes of working in Blaze. You can create a week's worth of content, whether that's Instagram content, Twitter, we've got blog posts, Facebook posts, LinkedIn, and I'm going to show you how to create all that content. We have two editing surfaces within Blaze where you're going to be creating that content. The first is a document editor. So this is great for your long form content, your blog posts, your landing pages, writing your emails. Maybe you're doing your newsletters on LinkedIn here. It's a great surface for adding content, editing content, and even collaborating with other people. And I'll go into that into more detail in a little bit. The next editing surface we have in Blaze is our designer. And this is to edit visual content. So you can see on this canvas, we can resize content. We can edit any of the text. We can add in images and manipulate any of the graphics on this screen. And this is great for your visual content like Instagram posts, Facebook posts, if you're doing Pinterest or creating thumbnails for YouTube, or even just graphics for your blog or your website. You can do all of that within the designer. And I'm going to go into more detail and how to use that, as well as the templates that we have built into Blaze a little bit later in our demo. So before we start creating content in Blaze, one of the things that we want to do is set up our workspace. So any content that we're creating looks like our brand and sounds like our brand, because we want content to be specific to us. We don't want the generic version that ChatGPT gives us. We want this customized to us. So what we're going to do is go into our brand kit. We've got 3 different elements into a brand kit: a brand style, which customizes all the visual content you create in Blaze; a brand voice, which personalizes all the text-based content so that it sounds like the way that you would normally talk; as well as source materials. And source materials is information that you give Blaze so it knows more about your business. Sam asked a question about integration. Does Blaze integrate with High Level? We don't have an integration with High Level right now. We do have, that is something that we've heard and something that we're kind of prioritizing on our roadmap. What we do have integrations with is Zapier. So Zapier is kind of our fallback option. And Zapier is a workflow tool where you can zap content from Blaze to like the High Level CMS or other types of content in High Level. I'm not super familiar with High Level, but we'll talk about integrations in a little bit. But first, what we want to do now is create a brand voice so that any content that we're creating is going to sound like us. And the best way to do that is just to paste in the homepage of your website. What Blaze will do is scan that homepage and look at all the text in it and develop a brand voice from that. If you don't have a website quite yet, you can paste in any text. So just grab some content that you've written, maybe some captions from social media posts, paste that in there. Or if you already have like brand guidelines in a PDF form, you can upload that as well. So for this example, I'm going to use IKEA, and we're going to look at IKEA's homepage. Blaze is going to look at all the text on the homepage and develop a brand voice for us. So it's going to say, who is IKEA trying to communicate to? What is the purpose of their voice? As well as several different attributes that make up the way that they are talking. And this is just looking at the homepage. So one URL. It's not looking at the entire website. Fortunately, that's not realistic for an AI tool to do in any streamline or fast way, because IKEA probably has 20,000 pages on their website. But a homepage or an about page is a really great place to start. So you can see Blaze has created our IKEA family voice. We can see the purpose is to connect with users, promote discounts, encourage participation in events. And their audience is homeowners, IKEA family members, and general consumers. And then here we see some of those attributes that make up the way that they're communicating. So the tone, emotion, character, syntax, and language. And all of this is editable and customizable. So we can, if we don't always want to be providing discounts, we can remove that. If we wanted to add in, be like warm, we can add that in there and really customize this to what we want. This is probably the number one feature in Blaze that customers tell me they love, because Blaze really captures their voice. And when they apply this brand voice to the content they create, it actually sounds like them. I talked to a customer who told me they created some emails with Blaze's brand voice, or a brand voice built off their website, sent it to their husband, and their husband could not tell that AI wrote it. It sounded exactly the way they would write their emails. So it's a really great tool and really powerful. And you can create multiple brand voices in Blaze depending on which Blaze plan you're on. So you can see I already have a Blaze AI voice, but I could create another brand voice for a different marketing channel. So say I'm creating Facebook ads, want those to be very persuasive. I can create a Facebook brand voice. But then if I'm creating content for Instagram or TikTok that's much more casual and informative, I could create a different brand voice for that marketing channel. We also have customers that are creating brand voices for different personas. So they're selling to executives, but they're also selling to maybe entry-level people. They'll create a different brand voice, and then when they're, depending on which type of content they're creating, they will select that brand voice. So lots of ways to do that here. The next thing to create is a brand style. So a brand style is going to look at your existing Facebook or Instagram feed and create a brand style that matches that feed so that when you go and create content, visual content in Blaze, you can just apply that brand style. And it's already going to have the colors you're using, the fonts you're using, and kind of match your existing vibes. So I've selected I think it was our Blaze Facebook page, and it's going to look at that content that we're putting on that page, look at our logo, and create a visual style that matches that. Okay, you can see it's grabbed our logo, it's grabbed some of the colors we're using in here, as well as chose a font for us. This font, might be a little bit tall, so maybe we'll select a new one. We can always upload our own, and maybe we'll make that, semi-bold. That looks good. And we'll apply this brand style when we go and create some Instagram content later in this demo. The last thing that I want to show you as part of our brand kit is source materials. So source materials is information that you give Blaze about your business. And similarly to creating a brand voice, you can just paste in the URL of a public URL. So I've put in a landing page here so that Blaze knows about our existing features. Or for IKEA, I've just copied in some text about their family membership plan, and I put in the URL of their IKEA foundation. Yeah, somebody's in the chat's asking, will this be available to rewatch? I believe so. This is my first time live streaming, but I believe this is rewatchable on our different pages. If not, we have a recorded version of this webinar on our YouTube channel where you can watch it there. And we've got a bunch of tutorials in Blaze as well. So no worries if you have to hop off to a meeting or something like that. We'll definitely be able to find a recording of this on one of these different platforms. All right, so now we've set up our workspace. Now let's go and create some content. So in order to do, we're going to go to create new, and we can see all the different types of content that we can create in Blaze. Blaze supports over 200 different content creation wizards that walk you step by step through creating great pieces of content. So you can create Instagram content or other content for different social media platforms like LinkedIn, Instagram stories, visual posts, or just blank documents. For your website, you can do blog posts or case studies or press releases. Or if you're working with freelancers, just a brief or an outline. You can create emails. You can do product descriptions for Shopify sites or Google Shopping, as well as scripts for sales calls, customer support, recruiting, and 100 other different types. You can really go crazy here and pick which types of content and experiment with ones that you want to use. So I'm going to use our blog post since that's one of the most popular content creation wizards. And what we're going to do is tell Blaze what we want to create some content about. So for this example, we're going to be IKEA. Let's do dorm essentials for college students moving into the dorms. That's our kernel of a thought of what we want to write about. You can see Blaze has already enriched this idea right in front of us. So we can hit tab or enter to add in this additional context that Blaze has given, suggested to us that we can accept, or we can, remove that, say we don't really like it. But it's basically just trying to take that kernel of a thought and turn it into a much richer idea. And then you can see we have 4 steps in this wizard that's going to help us craft this blog post. So this looks good to me. I'm going to fill in the rest of these fields myself. So we are going to name this file our dorms blog posts, and we're going to create this we're going to create a new project. So kind of think of it as a folder, an IKEA project. So we're going to save all our content there and keep it organized. The goal of this blog post is going to be informative. And then the target audience is going to be college students, as well as moms and dads, since they're usually helping out in that move-in process. The length of this, we can choose short, medium, or long. We're going to stick with medium, and we're going to optimize this for a keyword that IKEA would want to be ranking for dorm essentials. So this can really be optimized for SEO, search engine optimization, so that it's going to start showing up in the Google search results. Next, we're going to apply our IKEA brand voice that we've selected, or we've created, but we can also choose any of these tones that we have available here. And then we can select any source materials. So this is where we're selecting that information. Say we want to give Blaze this information that it can use to create more accurate and up-to-date information. Source materials are great to give Blaze information about your products, your services, your offerings. You can tell Blaze the history of your business, or just any information that you want to give it to really increase that quality of the AI generated content. We've got some other optional things that we can add in here. So call to actions, write a specific persona, or even avoid specific words. We're going to be creating this content in English, but Blaze supports over 40 different languages. So you could select a different language, and Blaze will remember that for next time. The next step in our process is to select some images that are going to be in our blog posts. So this looks like a dorm photo. That looks like a dorm photo. So we're going to use those. But we can always add in photos from other sources too. So we can upload ones from our computer, grab any ones from our workspace that we have previously uploaded in bulk. We can generate AI-generated image based off a specific prompt that we want. Or look through our stock gallery photo service and go, let's do college students. And then, yeah, these look like some college students. We're going to include those happy people in our blog posts. All this stock photography is royalty free, so you don't have to pay any or worry about rights or copyright or anything like that. Only restriction is you can't resell it. Yes, we will have this replay. I believe you'll be able to watch this replay on these different platforms. We also have a recording on YouTube to watch this as well. We also do a daily webinar just like this. So if you go to blaze.ai on our homepage, and you can sign up for our webinar at another time. All right, the next step in our wizard here is to select some titles, or select a title from the options that Blaze gives us. So Blaze is writing 5 different options here for us to choose from. Dorm Essentials Uncovered, your ultimate guide to a cozy college room. That's pretty good. One more about personalizing your space, or one more about hacks. So based off our initial prompt that we give Blaze, we can kind of choose the direction that we want to go to. Do we want this to be a checklist? Do we want to be talking about hacks? Or do we want this to be an ultimate guide? And this is editable, so we can remove that and just do dorm essentials. And then go to our next step, which is generating an outline. So Blaze is going to give us the introduction, a little bit introduction about what this blog post is going to be about, as well as the outline and the different headings that are going to make up this blog post. And this is really editable as well. So maybe we don't want personal touches and decor. Thanks for the suggestion to Blaze, but we want to craft our blog post in this direction. So it really gives you the opportunity to craft it and make and send it in the right direction that you want to go. Blaze is going to do its best guess. That's what AI is great at. It's going to give you a suggestion for what it thinks a great blog post should be, but you can always adapt this and edit this for your needs. So now we're going to generate this post. And we're going to take you into that document editing experience where we can see that content being generated right in front of us. And this is what I would consider a tier 1 document editor, which really differentiates Blaze from a lot of other AI content creation tools that you may have seen or even tried. Because this gives you everything that you would expect from a tool like Google Docs. So you can share this document. You can publish it to the web, give anybody access to this document with edit, comment, or read if they have that URL. You can give access to specific people, whether they're a member of your workspace or a guest. So I can invite my coworker, Liam, to this document and say, check this out. That's going to send an email notification to him. And I'm going to invite him as a guest. So he just has access to this document. or I can invite him as a member of my team so that he can create and edit other content within our workspace. So I'm going to send that invite. You can see he now has access. And if Liam is on here, in a second, you'll see that this is a real-time document editor. So we can be collaborating on this document at the same time. Not only writing at the same time, but we can also do it asynchronously. So we can select any content and leave comments for each other. We can even assign tasks to each other and assign due dates to that so they'll get notifications. We can look at the history of how this document has changed and even go back to previous versions or see which prompts we use to create this content. And we can go into our collaboration sidebar and even just leave a comment on the document side itself. You can see Liam is here now in the chat. We got his avatar here. He's making some edits right here. So pretty cool to have real-time document editing in this AI tool. We can say, you know, this looks great and leave that comment. We can even leave a, you know, thumbs up emoji since if we are loving that as well. You can see Liam just replied. He says it's awesome. All right, so now let's talk about how to edit content with the help of AI. So we can select any content here and ask Blaze to edit this for us. So we got a couple quick options to change the length, the tone, or even translate it. But we can just give it specific directions and say, rewrite this in more plain language. And Blaze is going to give us an alternate option right here for what content to either replace this or add it below if we want to pick and choose between the two different versions. I'm going to fully replace that and add that in there. We can also add in content and just add additional content to it on the document as a whole. So we can say, add a section on organizing. And what Blaze will do is add that down at the bottom of our document. So you can really keep working with Blaze to, you know, improve and create exactly what you want. You can replace any of these photos. So it's going to open up our image service just like before. We've got all the options you'd expect in terms of over 100 different fonts, different headings. We can add in elements, embed YouTube videos, Miro boards, and all that great stuff that you would want in a document editor to really use as your daily document editor. And let's talk about some of the AI options that we can do on our sidebar here. So one of the things that we can do is check how well this blog post is optimized for SEO best practices. So I can drop my keyword in here, dorm essentials, and analyze that and see how well this blog post right now is optimized for SEO. So a couple green check marks here, maybe key phrase only used 2 times. Let's improve that to 5 and maybe add it into the subheading and add some outbound links as well. We can also look at the readability score and see really lots of green check marks, maybe improve some of these transition words or some of the paragraph length. And the next step before publishing this, we can check for plagiarism, see if Blaze has taken any content from anywhere else around the web. No plagiarism detected. So that is how to kind of get your blog post ready to publish. Now let's talk about those integrations. So you can see at the top of our blog here, we have this integration section where right now I don't have my WordPress account connected, but if I did, I could select WordPress here and publish this blog post directly to WordPress. So I could schedule that to publish automatically at any time in the future, tomorrow or a month from now. And let's talk about all the integrations we have. So if we go into our navigation here and down here to integrations, you can see we've got integrations with X, also known as Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. WordPress is the one I don't have connected right now, as well as Zapier. And Zapier is a great fallback option. Zapier is a workflow tool that connects different software platforms and social networks. So if we don't have an integration that you want, you can use Zapier to zap this blog post from Blaze to High Level or Shopify or Squarespace or something like that. We are working on several integrations. YouTube is the one that's coming out next. And then Squarespace and Wix are on our roadmap, as well as Shopify too. And for these integrations, depending on which Blaze plan you're on, you can integrate multiple accounts. So you can see I've got my personal account connected here, as well as our Blaze company page. On Instagram, I've got the Blaze Instagram account, my demo AI for marketers account, and my personal account as well. So when I'm creating an Instagram account, I can select which account I want and publish to that platform. I see a question. Can we ask Blaze to write using an AI model, using NLP and the NLP model? I'm not exactly sure what you mean by NLP, but you can, within Blaze, you can't select which like AI or large language model that you get to choose. We don't give you that option. If you are on the Pro plan and up in Blaze, we are using Claude for even better writing, because that's generally known as to be one of the better writing tools. So that's on the Pro plan and up. And we'll talk about pricing and the different plans a little bit later. So say we've got our blog post ready. We like it. We want to get this ready to publish. What we can do is you turn this blog post into several different social media posts and content for other platforms, and repurpose this to really get the most value out of this content. So I can hit turn into and select turn this into multiple pieces of content. So I can select a Facebook post and Instagram posts. We'll do LinkedIn, X posts, and as well as the thread. Let's do a script for TikTok, and then a promotional email, newsletter, and SMS messages as well. You can really select as many as you want and repurpose Blaze into all this different types of content. And this is probably the number 2 favorite feature in Blaze, because it really allows you to get 10x the value out of the content that you're already creating. So we're going to confirm those details. Blaze is going to create a campaign for us. So a campaign is a group of content around one idea. So let's call this Dorms blog campaign. And we're going to save this in our IKEA project here. And we're going to select our IKEA brand voice. You can see here's all the different files that is going to be generated. And now we're going to go and generate that content. You can see our content is being generated here. Over in our navigation, it's added that IKEA project for us to make sure all our content is organized. And then you can see that we're looking at this in a calendar view if I go to this month. But we have all this unplanned content on the side because this content has been generated, but it hasn't been associated with a specific date on our calendar. So we can use this and create a marketing calendar and plan out our week's worth of content. So we can create our blog posts, put it right here, and just keep this as a draft. We can put our newsletter here. We're going to send that the next day. We don't have an integration with any email service providers. What we can do is ask for a reminder and say, Blaze, remind me at noon to send this email. And it will send us an email notification. And we can drag and drop the rest of this content on here. For this X post, we can say, yes, we're going to schedule this automatically. LinkedIn, we can drag and drop that on there, select that to post as well, and then drag any of these other ones and really create that week's worth of content just within 30 minutes by repurposing one kind of pillar piece of content into all this other formats of content. We can look at this project in this calendar view, but we can also look at it in a table view, which is maybe your more typical kind of folder type view. And we can see here's all our content. Here's those posts that we had already picked a date. We've done that. We can see which marketing channel it's on, that it's part of this campaign, and then the status. So all these are drafts with a few auto-scheduled and a reminder. You can even add in custom properties here. So if you wanted to be tagging this content to really organize it even more, and then you can sort, filter, and group everything within this project. So let's take a look at what some of this other content looks like. We'll go to LinkedIn so we can look at Blaze has given us several LinkedIn post ideas here in this kind of draft area, and it's taken this first one and pasted it in here where this is the content that we're actually going to publish. So we can edit this. We can remove any of these hashtags. We can add in other images or videos here, and then we can pick which account that we want to be publishing from. So right now it's my personal one. And if we wanted to change that post date, we could change that. We could cancel that if we wanted to. Let's go back to our project and take a look at another piece of content. Let's look at our newsletter. That's going to be looking at this in our document editor and saying, here's some content to go in that newsletter. It's giving us some alternate headlines, some alternate first sentence hooks as well. So really want to give you a bunch of options and do all the heavy lifting so that Blaze is taking care of 90% of the content and you can just do that last 5 to 10%. If we take a look at SMS messages, it's giving us multiple SMS messages as well as multiple variants. And so that is how to repurpose content in Blaze. There's other ways to repurpose content that you upload to Blaze. So if we go here and search turn into, we can turn audio files or video files into other content by uploading into Blaze. So say you have a podcast as part of your marketing mix, you can upload that MP3 file into Blaze. Blaze will create a transcript for you, and then you can repurpose that transcript into emails, into social media posts, into other forms of content. Similarly with videos, or you can even do a public URL. So if you grab an article on CNN or a blog post that you published, 6 months ago and you want to repurpose it to some new content, you can do that with this turn into feature. So another really great, another powerful tool within Blaze. So now let's create some visual content so I can show you the visual designer. We're going to go to Instagram and let's do a Instagram square post. And we're going to write about, our topic is going to be the Blaze designer itself. So let's do the Blaze designer, a great visual tool for designing and editing visual content. That is our kernel of a thought. We're going to change out, we're going to add in this, how Blaze improved our prompt here. We're going to change our brand voice to be our Blaze AI brand voice. We're going to apply that brand style that we created. So it's going to customize our templates within Blaze to match our style. And then we're going to select this Blaze designer source material to use as part of this post. So we're going to generate our details. We have over 1,000 different templates within Blaze. And Blaze has suggested 8 based off our initial prompt here, but we can look at all the templates that we have, look at the different categories from beauty to e-commerce, medicine, real estate, startups, nonprofits, as well as different styles. So you can really filter here and find something that you really like. I'm going to select this one right here. And then we can see Blaze has written our caption for us. It's added in some suggested hashtags here. And we can name this design. So elevate our graphics. We're going to save this in our content calendar project. And this is going to be created for, let's create this for our Blaze account, but we can also cross-post this and create this post for other platforms as well. Next step is to choose an image. So choose a stock photo or an image from our library. We can also generate an AI image. I'm not going to use an image for this template. So we're going to generate that post. Any questions, please drop them in the chat and be happy to answer them. In about 10 minutes, we'll go into a full Q&A as well. So you can see Blaze has taken our template here and customized the style with our brand style, as well as it's even edited the text within here about that is text relevant to our prompt in our caption as well. So we can edit any of this text. We can delete it. We can change the font, the sizing. We can repurpose or resize it just by dragging and dropping here. We can right click and duplicate, change the layering, align that to the page, and really make this exactly what we want. We can even change some of the corner rounding and borders on this content here. You can see that Blaze has applied our brand style. We can change this out if we want to and try different versions of our brand style. So we can select this and kind of rotate through the different types of content. That looks good to me. Maybe we'll get rid of this polka dot background. This right here, we're going to change this color into, this blue color. Change out this font into something white, so that's a little bit easier to read. Other elements that you can add in is shapes. So like this blue square here is a shape. You can add in a frame, which is like a photo within a shape like that, as well as some of our icons. And then you can add in different media. So you can upload photos from your computer. You can generate AI generated images or grab photos from your media library, the stock video library that we have, as well as stock photography. If you don't like this template, you can switch it out to a different one. You could add in a different background color. So maybe you want this kind of cool gradient color. That's looking pretty good. Maybe let's get rid of that, and kind of simplify that. Make this white so it's a little bit easier to read. We've got our caption here for this Instagram post. We can edit that here or regenerate a different version. And then if we wanted this to be a carousel post, we can duplicate this or add in another canvas for us to create content on. Yeah, Dallin asked about, can we do some AI images? Sure. So let's go to media and generate an image. So let's say, let's do an entrepreneur working on a laptop in a coffee shop. And we're going to do this as a photo, and the aspect ratio is going to be square. So, and then in 15 or 20 seconds here, we're going to get our AI generated image. We can see if we like, if we don't like, if we want to change it, we could change up our prompt and kind of keep tweaking it to get something that we want. So that is an example of the AI image. You know what, if we wanted to do this in a comic book style, let's do that since Blaze, we love our, click the wrong button. There we go. Let me delete that and add that. Comic book style of an entrepreneur working on a laptop in a coffee shop. And then I think let's do like 1950s comic book style. So we'll do the photo, we'll generate that image right here. All right. So we're almost at the end of our demo. After this, we'll get into talking about pricing and packaging. You can see we've got 1950s comic book style entrepreneur working in a coffee shop. I think that looks pretty good. Let's insert that image here, and then maybe we'll add this, in down here, and we're gonna right click on this, change the layering, and send that to the back so it's behind that content. Move that around, maybe actually bring this forward one spot. There we go. Okay, so now we're happy with our content. We can publish this. We can download this media to our computer just to download the PNG. Blaze also works on a mobile device, so you can use it on your mobile browser on Chrome or Safari. You can do everything that I've shown you in this webinar there. We can publish this content directly to Instagram. So you can see we got our visual right here, preview. We've got our caption. We're selecting our account. Maybe we'll put this on my demo account and then schedule this for, let's do schedule this for tomorrow at 9 a.m. We can schedule that. We can see the status has been updated to auto scheduled. We could change that date or unschedule that. Now, if we go back to our content calendar, I showed you how to look at content within one project. But let's say you want to look at your content across your entire workspace. So all of these different projects. In order to do that, you can go to our calendar view here, and then we can look at this calendar view in a list format. So here's all the content that's going to be published soon. You can see some of this is auto scheduled, but we look at it on the more popular calendar view. You can see all this content that I've created in Blaze. And we have customers that are creating content for the next 6-8 weeks, and they're scheduling it out within Blaze so they don't have to think about it. They're creating one blog post a week and scheduling it out. They're scheduling out all their social media posts, just really simplifying and minimizing the amount of time that they are spending creating content and freeing them up to do a lot more content or a lot more work in the rest of their business. So from this calendar view, you can even filter this just to specific social media accounts or accounts that you're publishing. You can change the different to only look at your scheduled posts. So you can see scheduled posts right there, or just specific projects if you want. And we also have analytics here within Blaze, so we can see how our accounts are growing. This account I just integrated recently, so there's not a lot of information here. But if we go to something like my Twitter account, you can see I have not been posting a ton of content, not really growing that much right now. But as you're creating content in Blaze, and soon we'll be adding in content analytics so that as you're publishing content from Blaze, we're going to tell you what the best performing content is so that you can repurpose that into other formats. So now let's talk about pricing. So on Blaze, we have 4 different packages on our pricing plan. Creator, Pro, Startup, and Agency. You can start out at the lowest level of Creator, $34, just over $1 a day to have one user within your workspace, and you can create one brand voice and one style and integrate one account per platform. So that means you can integrate Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. But if you want to have multiple accounts integrated for each of those, you're going to go up to our Pro plan, which is $49, so that you can have 3 accounts per platform. And some other limits that we have around here is how many posts that you can schedule, 30 posts per month. On the Creator plan, you have a max of 100,000 AI words, plagiarism scans, and source materials. And if you're wanting more, you go up to our Pro plan that's getting you more brand voices, more accounts, more scheduling options, as well as some of these others. And then if you're wanting more people in your workspace, you're going to a Startup and Agency plan that gets you more seats, more brand voices, more accounts, and unlimited and all that other stuff there. So really affordable pricing for small business and entrepreneurs. Pro plan is our most popular option because people are usually by themselves, but they want to have multiple brand voices and want to be integrating with multiple accounts and scheduling out all that content. If you love Blaze, you can start out on a monthly plan, upgrade to a yearly plan, and save 25%. So knock that price down even more. But we really feel like Blaze is priced in the best package for small business owners because you're getting an AI tool like ChatGPT, you're getting a document editor like Google Docs, a designer like Canva, and a publishing and calendar tool like a Hootsuite or a Sprout Social or any of those social publishing tools. So you're getting all of that in one for just $34, $49 is what most people are planning on. And if you to think of Blaze as a virtual marketer that you're adding to your team who's creating content for you, if you were to pay a freelancer or a marketing agency to create that for you, you'd be paying hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a month. And that's what we hear from a lot of customers is that they used to have a social media manager, they used to have a virtual assistant, or they were paying a marketing agency. They weren't getting the value that they were expecting from those. And then they signed up for Blaze, and now they have so much more control and are creating more content that sounds like them, that looks like their brand for only $49 a month is a pretty great deal when you think about it in that totality. So within your Blaze, once you sign up, we have a 7-day free trial. So really encourage everybody to take advantage of that, create all this type of content within Blaze. And to manage your subscription, you go up here on the right to your billing, and you can see which Blaze plan you're on. You can manage this subscription and upgrade, downgrade as needed. So any questions people have, please drop them in the chat. I've got about 10 minutes left as part of this webinar. So I'm going to take a sip of water, drop those in. Let me know what questions you have, what else you want to see. One of the things that I didn't show you, that I haven't been able to show you yet, is our ability to create content in bulk. So I showed you how to create one Instagram post and one blog post. But if we go down here on our homepage to creating a month's worth of content, you can create 10 to 30 Instagram posts all at one time, or 10 blog posts and schedule those blog posts out once a week for the next 10 weeks. So it's a great way to create lots of content and automate it, put it on your marketing calendar so you don't have to think about it. What am I going to be posting in 3 weeks? You already have it planned out within Blaze. So that's a really popular tool that is reserved for the pro plan and up on Blaze. So I can give you a little demo of this as people drop in any other questions. So we can do our like dorm essentials idea again here. So dorm essentials for college students. I'm going to have Blaze autofill these fields for me of what search terms we want to rank for and how long it thinks it should be and what brand voice we want to use. We're going to do short. We're going to include images. And Blaze is actually going to look up that keyword on Google and see what websites are already ranking for that keyword. So we got some Reddit content. We've got a blog post from Dorm Therapy, and then maybe this one from College Board. So we're going to use these as reference articles to help shape how we want to create our blog posts. Then we're going to look at our primary keyword based off the keyword difficulty. So essentials for a dorm room, that's getting 15,000 people are searching that per month. And the difficulty is an 11, which is actually not bad. And we can do a secondary keyword, dorm room ideas. And now we're going to generate our titles. So here's the 10 different blog posts that we're going to write. And I'm just going to select all of these. So one about transforming your space, one about doing a dorm room makeover, another one about dorm room essentials, and I can really customize these as needed. I'm going to plan these out on our calendar. So we're going to post this, once every weekday, starting on, let's do February 1st. Every Saturday, we're going to do a blog post for the next 10 days. And then we're going to call this our dorm blogs, and then generate those posts. And we're just going to schedule these as drafts. So we're going to see if we start to go look at February, this content is going to start going onto our calendar here. So pretty amazing to create tons of content all at one time and create lots of content to really fill up your blog calendar, your marketing calendar, as well as your social media feeds. And that's one of the things that we consistently hear from our customers is that before Blaze, they were very inconsistent with how they were marketing their business and creating content. Maybe it was once a week on Instagram. More likely it was every other week or just when they had time to do it. They were infrequent with their email newsletters. And now that they're using Blaze, they're doing 2 blog posts per week. They're sending their weekly newsletter. They're doing their 3 Instagram posts, 2 Facebook posts, and 1 LinkedIn post a week. And just the volume of content that they are creating is 10x the amount before. So pretty amazing results just to create all that content in 45 minutes or so. We can also, from our navigation, if people have any questions, please drop them in the chat, but I'll just kind of keep demoing a couple other cool features we have in Blaze. You can look at all the different templates right from your navigation right here. You can search through, let's do, real estate. We got a bunch of realtors using Blaze. You can see all the different templates we have here, house for rent, and then we can use this template and start creating some content for Instagram right here. We also, if you are loving Blaze and want to share it with other people in your network, we have a referral program. So if you click refer and earn, you can send an invite to Blaze to any of your friends, people. If you're in any Slack communities, LinkedIn groups, say, hey, check out this amazing tool that I'm using. When they sign up for Blaze, they'll get a free 30 days. And then once they become a paying user, then you will also get a free month just as a reward for sharing Blaze. So we want to have this be a win-win-win for everybody. A win for you, a win for us to getting more customers and helping out your friend as well and showing this cool new AI tool. So really encourage everybody to take advantage of that and invite everybody you know. Any questions people have? If not, I think we'll end this a few minutes early. So wanted to, let me go back to our live stream here, say thank you for attending this. We have that 7-day free trial for you to take advantage of. So go to blaze.ai, sign up for that free trial and play around with it. Find out if Blaze is going to work for you and your business. We are already supporting tens of thousands of customers who are being successful, consistently creating content and getting more value out of social media than they ever were before. And that content is not generic like ChatGPT, doesn't have this internet-y voice. It really sounds like you and your brand. And so people feel like they are adding a virtual marketer onto their team, doing all the heavy lifting and making it easy for them. So thank you. Dolan asked, do prices go up every year? Is it based on your sign up rate? Yeah, if you sign up for Blaze today, you are grandfathered into that package. So we will not raise the rates on you. If we do raise our prices in the future, then that won't affect you until you try and change plans. That's when you would be impacted. So yeah, definitely recommend signing up for that free trial. Just $34 a month, over $1 a day. You really can't find a better deal out there for something that's going to support your small business. So with that, I will say thank you. Thank you for attending this webinar, tuning in on the web, wherever you are. Our first time live streaming. So hopefully it was a good experience for you. And then we'll be doing more of these in the future. So thanks for attending. And I hope everybody has a great rest of your day. Thanks so much.